say more great things about Pray after I just tell you a little bit about it, but I think every person should leave this room and sign up for it. I'll tell you why. About a month and a half ago, I was invited up to Facebook headquarters. I met with some of their head of app development and advertising, and really what we were talking about is how can we optimize really ad space and also social media to better help the faith-based community. And I walked away from it knowing what we could do better in terms of promoting our church to their community, but I walked away not really knowing how we could better pastor our community. And literally 1 week later, Scott Williams connected me with pray.com, and they answered the question that a $1 billion company that was trying to work at, they answered it with this team. And these are a bunch of individuals who've done some really successful things in the app world, in the Silicon Valley world, and they left all those things behind to better our church communities. And so they're missionaries, if I put it that way. Whether he came up here and was like, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a leader, they're missionaries because they're helping us reach our communities. And so we signed up, and really what it is it's a prayer and encouragement social media platform. But rather than tell you, let me just show you. We've launched it now for about 2.5, 3 weeks. And since then, we've heard a prayer from Lily, who about 2 weeks ago, her doctor found a suspicious lump. And she was asking for prayer for healing and peace while waiting to hear the ultrasound results. And so about 30 people in our church community started praying for her and sending her prayers. Another individual, she said, I'm asking for prayer for my grandfather who's in ICU and my mom, and they're about to take him off life support. My mom is confused and stressed out. We actually found out later on that week through the Pray app that her grandfather passed away. And so what we're doing is we're going into Fellowship One. We're going to grab their address and we're going to send them flowers on behalf of the church. Another individual, her son Cameron is a junior high schooler. Cameron has already been blessed with a full ride scholarship basketball, but was just diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma. And so a bunch of people in our community started praying for her, started connecting with her. Another individual, they were talking about how another person has a special needs son. And so she was talking about how sometimes it's stress. And then later on, not only was she talking about what she needed prayer for, later on she posted this about a week ago. She said, thank you so much for this app. I've prayed for so many people today. I look forward to seeing how it affects the church of ALFC and the bride of Christ as a whole. And a bunch of people jumped in. And so one of the great things we do at our church is we launched a thing called koinonia groups. In Greek, it just means fellowship. So we call it K-12 groups. And one of the requirements of K-12 is that we pray together in our small group. Well, what's great about Pray is not only can you ask for a prayer church-wide, but you can send a private group. You can create a group, whatever your small groups are called, whatever your koinonia groups are, whatever it is you call it, you can create a separate group that then says maybe more privatized prayers. Maybe your husband, someone put in there last week that her and her husband are on the brink of divorce. And so what we're doing, we pull them up in our Fellowship One, and we're going to send them an email that we want to get them connected into our marriage program first. Before it leads to divorce, before it goes anywhere else, this app is helping save marriages, pray for healing, deliverance. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't walk out of here and go, I'm signing up, well, you're missing out on a great opportunity to pastor your church, because that's what it's all about. And then the last thing, the final thing, but a really great thing, is once you feel like you've been prayed for, once you've been encouraged, when you open up the app on the top right-hand corner, you can tithe and give an offering in it. And we all got bills to pay, and so I think you ought to be excited about that. And actually, the dividends, the requirements are less than push pay. So if you're using push pay, you actually it's less than. And so I know we're always looking at who's taking the biggest percentage from us, who's doing this. Well, the amazing thing about these guys at Pray is they are doing this for the church. It's not for them. They've been successful. They've done big apps. They've made a lot of money elsewhere, but they believe in the local church. And I think we ought to believe in them back and thank them for doing what they're doing for us by going and signing up and connecting our churches with it. Thanks, people.
Thank you, Adam. Come on down. Come on, give it up for Adam. Awesome.